Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we got another knife review for you. And this time, it's a Benchmade. It is the Benchmade Nestucca. The Benchmade Nestucca. Now, clearly you can see, obviously, it is a fixed blade knife. It comes with this really nice leather sheath that secures around the cutting portion of the knife. The rest of the knife is then exposed. And I'll tell you right now, there is no sort of strapping, webbing, or dangler attachment to make this a hip carry knife or to attach it to the outside of a pack. So this is definitely a pack knife where you're going to put it and keep it and store it inside your pack until you need to take it out and use it. But that being said, once again, the sheath is super good quality leather, really nice secure metal snap. It has the branding and insignia pressed into the leather. Stitching's really nice. Really impressed with the sheath. And to put it in, you just slide it in. Fixed blade knife, the Nestucca. Now this knife is based off of the Alaskan Ulu. Now if you're not familiar with the Alaskan Ulu, it is kind of a larger, broad blade, so it kind of curves down and then it tapers up to a handle, and it's meant for like scraping and press chopping and rolling rocking cuts. And so a lot of the features from the Ulu are represented in this design of a knife, because you can press, you can roll and rock, you can scrape and kind of like cut. So this is part of Benchmade's Hunt series of knives. Tell you right now, it does not come with the orange lanyard. I put that on after, and I can kind of, I'll try to justify why I put that on there. But yeah, so this is part of the Benchmade's Hunt series of knives, which are designed for outdoorsmen, specifically hunters and people who would have to process game, skin game, but more or less trying to hit the market with the outdoorsmen. Out there, outdoorsmen or outdoors. Get into some specs, and then we'll talk about how this knife performs. The overall length is 6.58 inches. The blade length, or the cutting edge, I believe from hilt to there, is actually 4.41 inches. The blade thickness is 0.14 inches. The handle length is 2.5 inches. The handle thickness is 0.57, so just over half an inch. The overall knife itself weighs just under 5 ounces at 4.95 ounces. So it's a fairly light knife for how broad of a knife it is. It's ambidextrous, so left or right hand users, it's cool. And once again, it's a full tang knife. Now the blade steel on this, as well as all the other Hunt series knives, is an S30V blade, which is a really good kind of super steel, multi-purpose blade steel. Good stain resistance, holds an edge well, sharpens up really nice. So pretty cool. Now, that being said, the knife is based off the Ulu, so it's for press chopping, but they really did an awesome job of creating this new style of handle. And I might be wrong, because I'm sure there's other knives that have some similar features to this in this design, but it's the first one that I've handled or I've seen like this. So, you know, you can comment below if you know of other knives that are in the similar vein of this design. So it has a small G10 handle scales on either side. It only comes in this bright orange, and then it has the black hardware. They have that ridge kind of motif going on like they do in all the other Hunt series knives. It's kind of their identifying motif as far as saying these are all part of the same kind of series. The G10 adds enough girth to it, and with this big kind of loop here, you can grab it up like this and kind of use for carving. But then with this large cutout hole here, your index finger will slide right in there, and your thumb can rest on this jimping here. And this is good for kind of press chopping down and roll cuts. If you want, you can even go up here. I haven't necessarily found anything that works well in this grip, but I have found that you can put your index finger on the point then on this set of jimping, and it works good for kind of a horizontal slicing motion. And yeah, so you got that, and honestly, I found myself just fondling this blade in the sense that I'm constantly just trying to find what grips work well, how I can hold it. So it's a really fun blade to kind of experiment with. That being said, it has this large bevel here, and then in a fairly large secondary bevel that makes it almost like a Scandi grind. Because of that, it came razor sharp, and it continues to slice really well. So as far as performance goes, I actually demonstrated some of this by making me a sandwich. So here's one of my favorite sandwiches. Check out this little clip making the turkey Italiano. So enjoy. The best way to demonstrate some of its cutting power is by making me some lunch, making a sandwich. So it has a number of different grips. Thumb grip, putting the index finger, so we're just going to slice open this roll. Works good. Once you get it pinched in there, you can then back up to here. That really draws the blade through. And as you can see, awesome clean cut. I'm also doing a review what I'd like to call some sandwich crack, which is the Beano's Original Submarine Dressing. This stuff is so addicting. If you've never had a sandwich with it, highly recommend it. But we'll get into that. So first, what you're going to do, we cut open our nice, lovely bread. Split it open. We're going to take then some of our Beano's Original Subs dressing. You got to put this on first. Oh yeah, always remember, shake it up, because the little ingredients kind of separate. We're going to drill that on both sides of the bread, because you want it to hit the tongue at multiple different angles. So boom, we got that. Now I'm all like greasy towel. I could never be a professional TV cook person. I'm making the turkey Italiano today, so we got some provolone. Look at that. By the way, I'm using boar's head meats and cheeses. You can't get much better quality than boar's head brand. We're going to then lay down some pepperoni. Then finally, we're going to top it off with the oven gold turkey that was freshly sliced from the deli today at Von Hansen Meats, which is a local meat franchise or butcher shop here. So heck, we'll just lay it kind of like, I don't know how they do it at Subway. They make it look pretty. Let's throw some more down on here. Meat. Tried being a vegan for a week. Let's just say all it lasted was a week. Boom! Then all we're going to do is we're going to close that bad boy up. And now to test out the actual press chopping of it, we're going to take our sandwich, we're going to press through. Now the cool thing with this is that you can get your hand right over the chopping portion of the blade. It's also really good for rocking. So if you got vegetables, boom, boom, boom. I'll probably do a cut test on some paracord too and show you how the rocking works. But we can just press right down. Oh, just slices right through there. Perfect. And voila. Turkey Italiano. Blimpy sub. Let's do a quick review. Oh, so delicious. Check this stuff out. Make yourself a sandwich. Benchmade Nestucca, great for making sandwiches. That sub sandwich was delicious. Oh my god, I ate that up right after I got done filming that little bit. But as you can see, this knife sliced through there really well, and then press chopped right through like butter. Super good. I also used it to cut paracord. and I'll demonstrate that right now. You know, just, you know, you can roll back this way, and it just slices through this. You can also roll forward, and it just cuts through that really well. You know, if you have multiple, you know, a larger diameter, you're going to want to just come down, get that thumb pressed in there, and just do a press chop. And you can kind of rock your way back and forth to get that done. Okay, so cuts just awesome. You know, you can even just kind of drag it. Well, not so much, but really cool. The other thing with that tip and that jimping, you know, you can kind of just cut through stuff any which way you want. Now, as far as like a one tool option for bush crafting or anything, I did carve some sticks and stuff, and you can kind of carve, but you don't have as good a control as you would like a traditional blade. And then as well, it's as far as me thinking, you know, could I use this in a survival? Well, any knife would be usable in a survival situation, but like making a bow drill kit to kind of drill out your bearing block or your hearth board, you know, it's going to be a little bit awkward compared to a traditional. Also, let's compare it to some other knives just so you get a size reference. So first up, we have a Mora craft line, I believe. Then we have the D-Skin Hunter from Kershaw. That's a pretty sweet blade. We have the Becker BK16 drop point. And then to offer up a little bit something smaller, we have the BK14, Becker BK14, or the SK bar. As you can see, handle-wise, it's fairly similar to the SK bar or the BK14, but then you have the blade that drops lower, and then you have way more belly. So actually, I'd say overall length and size would be really similar to BK Escobar or the Becker Necker knife as well. So, and weight-wise, I say this is a little bit heavier than this, but overall handle and length-wise, it's the same, but then it drops. So I added on this little lanyard. I figured because it looks similar to a hatchet blade or an axe, I figured if I could put in a pinky lanyard and secure that, it'd give me the ability to chop. So, but finding the actual sweet spot for chopping is a little bit different because it rolls so much. So I can get the same effect by just going by push cutting. So I don't know. As far as a chopper, I mean, there's potential and there might be a larger learning curve, but who knows. Finally, the last test is the ugly brown glove test. So, you know, does it fit well in hand? Well, yeah, my finger's secured in that hole. The jimping locks my hand in there really well. So if I was filleting fish and I had like a glove on for protection, I still have plenty of control and grip into this. Plus, if I had a wrist lanyard, it'd help out a lot. Here, still really good. You know, I have my thumb hooked into that hole, and then the jimping on top. And then as far as putting this in, securing it, piece of cake, taking off the snap, pulling it out. Good. Ugly brown glove test pass. Alright, so that being said, check out the Benchmade Nestucca. Price-wise, it's only like around $130. S30V blade steel, really unique, super cool knife to add into the collection. I'll probably say it's just a really fun, unique knife. And honestly, I would recommend it just for like kitchen prep, you know, making food. You'll probably enjoy using this than any other traditional kitchen knife. So check it out, Benchmade Nestucca, model number 15100. Stay tuned. Check out the eye in the upper right hand corner for other videos. Like, subscribe, comment, and have a great day, and make yourself a sandwich. The Turkey Italiano. Peace.